Down deep in the tropical rainforest, an ant wanders from its colony. It climbs a plant stem to a specific height of about 25 centimeters, just a little smaller than a ruler, and clamps its mandibles onto the underside of a leaf with such a force that they'll never open again. The ant then dies in this very specific position. Then a fungal stalk erupts from the back of its head. Spores rain down on the forest floor below, infecting other ants. This is the Cordyceps, the zombie fungus, and it's one of nature's most sophisticated mind control mechanisms. There are over 400 species of cordyceps, each specialized for different insects. Some target ants, others target spiders or even wasps. The fungus grows inside the insect, consuming non-essential tissues first. It needs the host alive and mobile, and it releases a compound that hijacks the insect's central nervous system. The infected ant becomes a puppet. Studies show the fungus doesn't even invade the brain. It forms a network around it, controlling the insect remotely like a puppeteer with strings. The ant climbs to the optimal height and orientation for the spore's dispersal, then it dies. It's horrifyingly precise. The game, The Last of Us, popularized the terrifying question. Scientists say it's currently impossible. The fungus has adapted very specifically to insect physiology and can't survive in a mammalian body temperature. But climate change is making the world warmer, and even fungi are evolving. So whilst unlikely, the show and the movie isn't entirely fantasy, it's extrapolation. So here's where it gets philosophically disturbing. When the ant is infected, it's still an ant. It looks like an ant, but its behaviors aren't generated by its own neurons. They're generated by fungal manipulation. The ant's body has become a zombie, a biological robot controlled by another organism. This is philosophical zombieism made literal. A being that looks conscious, but whose actions are determined by something entirely different. This touches on the hard problem of consciousness. We can't know if the infected ant has a subjective experience. Does it feel itself climbing? Does it experience confusion or horror as its own body betrays it? Or has the fungus eliminated consciousness entirely, leaving just an ambulatory meat machine? And here's the really terrifying part. How will we know the difference? If we were infected by something that controlled our behaviors, whilst leaving us conscious enough to observe, we'd be trapped inside our own zombified corpse. You'd watch your body do things you didn't choose, and you'd be powerless to stop it. That's not death, that's something worse. And that's another episode of Spooky Science. Tune in tomorrow for another snippet.